Hello all, Jeff here with a new video for something different today. So we all know that the August update for Forza Motorsport 7 is going to be the last real update for the game. And it had me thinking, you had your car packs in previous Forza games where you have 7 cars per pack. My dream car pack for Forza would be Bathurst Legends. Highly doubt it's going to happen for Forza 7, but it could happen for Forza 8, Forza 9, Turn 10 if you're watching. Please consider this. So the 7 cars I would include in a Bathurst Legends car pack. The criteria is the car must have won the Bathurst 1000 or the 500 miler as it was until Australia moved to the metric system in 1973. Also, I'm going to try and not include cars that are already in the game in bone stock road going form. So keeping that in mind, the green-eyed monster, the Channel 9 Camaro, you're not going to see them. So, all 7 cars I'm going to include, they have won Bathurst. So, 3 Fords, 3 Holdens, and 1 Bathurst winner from something other than Ford or Holden. So, I'm going to go from oldest to newest. So, the first one I'll include is Peter Brock's 1972 XU1 Tirana. We've got the A9X, but not the XU1. Perfect way to add the car in the game. You know, nice little 6-cylinder car that could easily take on the GTHOs back in the day. Really good car. So that's the first one I'll include. Plus, it was Peter Brock's first Bathurst victory in that car, and the last 500-mile Bathurst race, believe it or not. Next car I would include would be Alan Moffat's 1977 XC Falcon. Now, yep, this is the car that won the 1-2 formation finish in 1977 at Bathurst. So the Colin Bond number 2 car, we're not going to include that. There's no point. It's exactly the same car, just with a different number on the door. So add the Moffat car. You know, it looks so much tougher than the XA and XB we already have in Forza. So yeah, it would be a very, very good addition. You know, just to have a race going version. Next car I'd include would be Dick Johnson's 1981 XD Falcon. Look, if you're an Australian motor racing fan, you know the story about Dick Johnson in 1980. He was going to destroy everyone in the Bathurst 1000 until he hit the rock just before Reed Park. There was a rock in the middle of the ground, of the middle of the track. It rolled from the hill where the fans were staying. Fans were watching the action. They just slipped on the rock and it fell down. And Johnson hit it, destroyed his car. It was really cool story. I know I'm a Holden guy, but like the public donated so much money to the team to rebuild a car from 1981. All of a sudden, Dick Johnson wins the Australian Touring Car Championship and wins the Bathurst 1000 in 1981 as well. Although it was red flag conditions, it was, you know, it was justice for Dick. And look at him now. His team's owned by Team Penske. He's done well there. Next car I'd include would be the last of the big bangers, the Group C touring cars. No, I'm not talking about Le Mans prototypes. Australian touring cars of the 70s and early 80s, they were referred to as Group C, believe it or not. So the 1984 winner was Peter Brock's 05 VK Commodore with the Dayglow orange Marlboro colours on it. So, you know, this was also a Formation 1-2 finish. We won't include the 25 car, same car, different number on the door. Now, one thing with this car is, if you're going to include it in the game, you won't see the Marlboro decals. To be honest, I'm fine with that. You look at Senna's McLaren in Forza, doesn't have Marlboro decals. You buy a die-cast model of the Peter Brock 80, any of the Peter Brock Marlboro cars, they don't have the Marlboro decals. Although people will do them for you. But, you know, I can live without having the Marlboro decals on the car, so that's fine with me. Next car I want to include will be somewhat controversial because we already have the road-going version of it in the game, and that is the 1992 Winfield Nissan Skyline R32 GTR, the one that Mark Skaife and Jim Richards drove, well, crashed to victory. So for those that don't know the story, Jim Richards, Mark Skaife, they were destroying everyone, and then it started pelting down with rain. Jim Richards hit a wall, and then he was on slick tyres at the time. It was pouring rain. So he just nursed the car back, tried to nurse the car back to the pit lane. Once he got to the kink that led to Conrod Straight, he was in the wall and smashed into 4 or 5 other cars that already crashed. And because they were leading on the last complete lap before the red flag came out, they were declared the winners. Let's say the fans weren't happy about it. Look up Bathurst 92 finish. It's very iconic and such an iconic car. Now you won't see the Winfield decals on the car. Cigarette advertising. Again, I can live with that. Die-cast models of the car, you can buy it in store. They don't have the Winfield decals. Again, people will make them for you. But, you know, a lot more iconic, I feel, than the 91 version of the car. So, how many is that? That's 5. So, 2 more. So, these are in the V8 supercar era. Now, they're not the current generation supercar. I wouldn't include those. So even though Mostert's 2014 victory was amazing, these two, the last 2 I'll add, they're rip snorters. So the first one, or the 6th car in the pack, will be Greg Murphy and Rick Kelly's 2003 Kmart Racing Commodore. On the Saturday in the top 10 shootout for qualifying, Greg Murphy did the 2 minute 6.8 time. You know, the lap of the gods. It was amazing. Didn't get beaten for 7 years that time. That just shows how quick Murphy was going. And he did a miss shift up the top of the mountain as well, and he still managed that time. Amazing. That car went on to dominate the race the next day. So, you know, may as well add the car. It's such an iconic car. And the last one, for you Ford fans, it's the 2006 Better Electrical 888 Falcon of Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup. On the day, I was disappointed because Holden didn't win, but you look back at that race. You know, Peter Brock, like Bathurst legend, won 9 races on the mountain, passed away less than 1 month before the 2006 race. Craig Lowndes was Peter Brock's mentor. Well, Peter Brock was Craig Lowndes' mentor and best friend. Craig Lowndes went on to win that race for Brock. And yeah, it was just an amazing moment. And he was in tears once he crossed the line. He was in tears on the podium. And Jamie Whincup, he was a young up-and-comer. Earlier in the year, he won a race at the Adelaide 500. I'm pretty sure this was Bathurst in 2006 was the next race he won. And just look what Whincup has done now. He's one of the greatest Australian touring car drivers ever. So there are the 7 cars that I would include in a Bathurst Legends car pack on Forza. So again, Brock's 1972 XU1, Moffat's 1977 XC Falcon. Jackie Hicks drove with Moffat that day. Multiple time Le Mans winner. So just keep that in mind. Dick Johnson and John French's 81 XT Falcon. Peter Brock and Larry Perkins' VK Commodore. The big, wide VK. Mark Scaife and Jim Richards' Winfieldless 92 Nissan GTR. Greg Murphy and Rick Kelly's 2003 VY Commodore. And Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup's 2006 BA Falcon. They're the 7. So if you like the video, smash the thumbs up button. Leave a comment. Let me know if you'd change any of these cars. And if you want to see more, subscribe and tap the notification icon. Anyway, this is Jeff here, and happy racing. Cheers.